Did you hear?
Yeah, girl, what? Hey guys, welcome to Girl, Did You Hear? I'm Kristen.
And I'm Jessica.
Today, we are going to share some exciting things with you. The other day, we went axe throwing, which was so much fun. We had just talked about that with you guys on our previous episode. So much fun. It was called Yukon Axe, right?
Yukon Axe in Westminster.
Mm-hmm. It was at the Orchard,
Yes.
which is like an outdoor shopping area. Super fun. Did you catch the girl's name that was helping us?
Her name was Erin.
Erin
Was the greatest hostess for our experience.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We had the entire place to ourselves, which was dope.
Also the best part.
Yes. That's what happens when you go in like
so
the middle of the day.
So we could be little goofballs and no one was around to judge.
Yes. No, she was great. She got us set up with the games. They have food there, all kinds of like finger snacks. We grubbed on the pretzel bites.
And the quesadilla.
So good. Loaded up on all the carbs and cheese.
I mean, appropriate for axe throwing, right?
Absolutely. And then we played some fun games. We played tic-tac-toe. They had like the little like bejeweled like
match 'em.
Yeah.
And puzzle drops.
And then the traditional points game, of course, which was super fun. I love axe throwing. How do your shoulders feel today?
My shoulders feel fine. How are yours?
Mine are good, actually.
Nice.
Like, I feel like I did something.
Right.
But it's not like, oh, man, you know?
Right. Like
I could
super
tell.
sore.
Yeah. There's just certain muscles like back here that I'm like, yeah. Those were used recently.
I get
Haven't
that.
used those in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's funny. So definitely check out Yukon Axe. We'll put their information in the description for you guys. All their socials and stuff I'll put there for you as well. And then I will share some clips of us doing our thing.
It was a lot of fun.
It was super fun. Jessica and I have done a lot of things together, but we have never really done something where we were like competing against each other. That was our first time.
Haven't had an opportunity to have points against this one yet.
I know.
No.
We were always like on the same team, right? Against everybody else, obviously.
Which is like our best situation.
Yes. Yeah, totally. But it was fun. I'm competitive naturally, and I know you are also.
Same.
So it was fun to like have that little
bit of like extra motivation to I don't know, try and win.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna win.
And I mean, we were pretty evenly matched.
Like, we were
just
the entire time.
trading games. It was your game, my game, your game, my game. Yeah.
Yep. It was so much fun though.
I have to say tic-tac-toe was my favorite.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. I've been to previous axe throwing places, and the ones that I've been to didn't have like those types of games.
Right.
We didn't play like through the iPad, and they didn't have like the projector on the
That
boards.
place is great.
That place is cool. Like the ones I've experienced before, there was always like a dude or whoever, you know, kind of like instructing your group or wherever, like throughout the game.
I see. He just kind of like hung out with you the whole time.
Yes. Like, and he's like cheering you on and like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But she just like let us do our thing, and it was fun. I liked it.
I enjoyed the fact that she goes over a bunch of safety things in the beginning, right? She teaches you how to throw if you have not been there before.
Yes.
And I had been there before. I really liked that place.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. So it was great that she got to run us through like, this is how you do it. This is how we expect you to behave here. And these are the lines where you just kind of hang out, where you keep everybody safe.
Do not step over the pink line.
It's to keep everybody safe, okay?
Miss Rule Follower. I may have gotten yelled at a couple times
just a few
by
I
Jessica.
didn't yell. It was really more of just, I don't know where that axe is going to go. It's coming out of my hands.
That's true.
We had like, one bounce back like all the way to my feet. I was like, that was a bad throw.
The one that I threw that really high, that I thought it was going to hit the freaking, the little scoreboard at the top of the freaking wood. Oh my God.
That one was great.
That one just like let my hand, like it went way out. It went way high.
It was so loud.
It was. I was like, oh God. I wonder if anyone's like broken anything in there before.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, you're throwing axes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, huge chunks of metal attached to a stick. That's pretty precarious. Yeah.
I want to know who created the axe throwing business, because what a great idea.
Well, I'm sure that like axe throwing, I've seen axe throwing at events like Renaissance festivals and, you know, other like festival type situations. So to take that from a only on the weekend, only in this really weird setting, and bring it into like an entertainment perspective, I think is really cool.
It is cool.
Yeah.
I just want to know like the person that created it. I want to look it up. Just for my own brain, because I'm just weird
because
like
I'm
that.
sure axe throwing competitions have been around since time.
Before,
Yeah,
like before axe throwing became a thing that people can go do for
before
fun.
it became populated, modernized, or whatever.
Because obviously
you
they
wanna
have
call
like leagues and stuff that they like, advertise for in those places.
Absolutely.
But like you said, axe throwing is a very like medieval thing.
Yeah.
So it's been around for a while.
It was a lot of fun.
I was disappointed that I don't have the shoulder strength to one arm throw it.
So I can one arm throw it. That was what was most comfortable for me, because anything like over my head, I felt like I was just cramming my tits in my face and like trying to avoid my arms. It was not.
It's funny.
Like I feel like it just pushes my face down, and I'm trying to aim at something. So like the one-handed
like
motion for me was great.
Yeah.
So I was impressed that you had like this two-handed thing. Just you were throwing axes at it. It was great. You had great accuracy.
I was fun.
Yeah.
Like if I lived out here, I would probably join a league just for fun. I would probably make you join with me.
It's so gratifying. I absolutely would.
It's just like one of those things. Like, let's just try it.
Every Wednesday, we just show up to a place and
try
do a
it.
thing.
Let's just do it. Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely something to consider if we come back to Colorado full time.
Absolutely.
I would do something like that for sure.
That would be fun. Check it out.
What do you do for fun? I'm in an axe throwing league.
Yep. It's like it's not bowling, it's not pickleball, it's axe throwing. That's pretty heavy metal. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have like knife throwing and stuff too.
Yeah, I've tried that.
It's hard.
That's a lot harder.
I have tried to throw knives.
I mean, I thought I was cool once too. I could not land anything.
No. Like the Chinese like
the little throwing stars you get from the flea market.
I've tried those before. They do not work well.
No, I don't imagine.
I must not have like the proper
throwing technique.
Or
the fact that they're probably not sharp at all.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean,
sharp enough to cut your skin, but not sharp enough to
like stick into drywall.
Yeah. Drywall.
Right into the wall.
Tearing up mom's house?
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to know if it actually works?
That's fair.
It's a pretty solid thing for something to stick in.
That's true. And I mean, and it is fragile enough for it to stick into it. So that makes sense.
Our last episode, we kind of like left people on like a cliffhanger because we were talking about like the apocalypse.
Oh, and our favorite
like conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And obviously, there's so many crazy conspiracy theories out there in the world.
Yep.
One of mine that I have always been like drawn to is the Bermuda Triangle.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I just think it's interesting that so many people have claimed like crazy weather things that happen there. Boats, like people complain that like when they travel through there, like on vessels, like their GPS or their compasses don't work properly, and there's obviously a lot of like theories debunking some of those specific things. Like I remember reading, there's something people have determined that in the Bermuda Triangle. And so if people don't know where that's at, it's like the South Atlantic Ocean, like in between Florida and Puerto Rico. So I'll pull it up on the map.
It's super close.
It's close. Like there's not a lot of space, like water space between like the Florida Keys and Puerto Rico. Like there's not that much distance.
That's interesting.
Between there. So in that gap, there's this little triangle that they call the Bermuda Triangle, or a lot of people call it the Devil's Triangle too sometimes.
Right.
But people have reported like their GPS or their compass acts funky. But people that try to debunk these theories say that there is some sort of like electromagnetic energy force
yeah,
that does affect the compass.
Right.
And so it almost makes it like, I'm pretty sure a compass
is drawn to like magnetic,
it's drawn to
the poles.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you're in that area, it's going to draw in like the wrong direction.
Most powerful magnetic
It tends to
source.
draw in the wrong direction versus where it's drawing naturally, which is true north.
Right.
Because it just knows where to go.
Right.
Compasses are just weird that way.
There's science behind it.
I know. They're weird, okay?
Got it. Super weird.
But yeah, so to me, it's just crazy that so many people have reported all these weather events there, and people have died there or disappeared, and then, or just crazy things have happened.
Yeah.
And there's no explanation for them, right? And I think that I'm drawn to it so much is because A, it's close to us.
Right.
It's been around for a long time. Like, obviously many theories have been, but this is like definitely an older one. Like, I remember reading about it when I was little and I was like, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I almost want to like go there. I want to go to the Bermuda Triangle and see if I experience anything. And I know that sounds crazy, but I am such a weird person.
You've just
like
got to
that.
be messing with stuff that shouldn't be messed with.
I know.
Do you use their little Bermuda Triangle tours?
There might be.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know. But if there is, I'm going to find one.
Help her.
I'll create one. How's that?
Oh, even better.
But so another theory is that people think that the lost city of Atlantis is like down there.
It's just
causing all of this energy, force, and stuff like that.
That's hilarious.
But there's a guy named Bruce Gernon. He's a pilot.
Okay.
And he wrote a book about the Bermuda Triangle because he had a whole experience through it.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote a book about it. It's called The Bermuda Triangle Survivor. Go figure.
Pretty plainly stated.
There's tons of books on it, but I thought it was interesting specifically for him because it's based on his actual experience through there.
The entrance and the exit of. Interesting.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
My favorite conspiracy theory is the moon landing was faked.
The moon landing was faked.
The moon landing was faked.
Wah, wah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Was it?
I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that. Like, why do you think that they would fake something like that?
This was back in 1969.
Yes.
So, I mean, I understand we have all the technology and stuff to go to space, but we're taking video of dudes bouncing around on the moon up there.
I mean, I don't know.
That's hard.
It's hard.
That's hard. I mean, and then now there's like interviews of one of the astronauts explaining to people that no, we didn't go up there. We tried, but we didn't quite do
I've
the
heard
thing.
that.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I've heard so many like random, just like little misinformations about NASA.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Right.
And like what they share with the world and what they don't. You
well,
know?
I mean, they're their
And
own private company,
yeah.
right? So they can choose to tell us whatever they want.
Right.
Like,
but I
information is their
believe
own.
that they are also like very hush hush, obviously, about probably a lot of things.
I'm sure they'd have to be.
And I think that they probably also work, you know, with some government officials on the low.
I feel like the moon landing was fed to us in a manner in which we would understand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because the common American probably doesn't understand what it takes to go to space. I don't understand what it takes to go to space.
Right.
Like, I don't understand what it means to be an astronaut. And there's plenty of people out there that do.
There's astronauts that are stuck in space right now.
Right now. So,
can you imagine being one of those people? Oh my God.
I don't like being stuck in traffic.
Right?
Could you
just
imagine
stuck in
being
a
stuck like
frickin'
in your car in space?
You're just in a little pod in space and you cannot leave the pod.
Like, so it would be like you being in your RV stuck in traffic for however long.
They're not able to come back until like next year.
Do they have enough supplies?
I don't know, but they just sent back like something from the rocket ship. I forget what they were. I'm drawing a blank on the name. I did not sleep well last night, guys. Okay. So my brain is just done
We're
for
not
today.
Firing on all cylinders.
No, I have like a half a cylinder. It's like
in between
got a slow start going on.
Cylinder going.
But yeah, they sent something back from there, and I'm like, well, why couldn't they send the freaking astronauts back? But I don't know.
Right,
I don't know.
Right. I don't know what it takes.
I don't even know why. I don't know why they're up there or how they got stuck up there. I don't know any of it. I didn't look into it far enough. I just know that they're up there and they are stuck up there.
Right.
And I do feel that NASA is kind of like hush hush about stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did actually fake the moon landing, but I don't understand like what the purpose of that would be. Like, why would they feel the need to fake it and make people think that we landed on the moon in 1969 when we could have landed on the moon in 1980 and would it have changed anything?
I don't know, because I wasn't around in that time, right? But I bet there was a little bit of propaganda about the situation.
Right.
Like, hey, guess what? We're doing this thing. We're going to do the thing.
We're going to try to go to the moon. We're going to try to land on it.
You know, so you're setting these expectations of that people are going to the moon.
Neil Armstrong?
Armstrong and Aldrin.
They're the ones that landed.
They're the two astronauts.
Are they still
Apollo 11.
Are they still alive?
I think one of them is. I'm not quite sure which one.
There's got to be an interview out there.
Facts out there. There is, and it's a
that
recent
guy,
one, but
of one of them.
And he's the one that's like, "Yo, this didn't happen."
Really?
Yeah. But again, like, technology is taking over. How is this a deep fake? Like, who knows?
Are they trying to Mandela affect us and give us a false memory?
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here.
Like, are they trying to do that?
Yeah, that's exactly what this led to. Like, I was talking to my husband about this last night, and we were going over conspiracy theories because I wanted to know, it was like, kind of, what are the more popular ones? Like, what are the ones that stick in your mind?
Right.
And we were talking about the faked moon landing because he showed me the video of the astronaut saying that didn't happen, and it went straight into their Mandela affecting us.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. But like, okay, so if this astronaut said that they didn't actually land on the moon, so he's lived since 1969 until today or whatever that video came out. He's lived that long with the lie and of not landing on the moon or keeping hush hush about it. Like, why all of a sudden now are they coming out and saying that didn't happen? Why didn't that happen 10 years ago or 5 years ago? Like, why now? Like, why all of a sudden now are they like, oh, by the way, we didn't actually land on the moon, guys?
Is there something we need to be distracted from?
Probably
right now. So they're going to come out with this garbage. Like, why not now?
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
That's I get. You're like, well, reasons, but like,
give me your logic. I mean,
hard.
It is hard, and that's the conspiracy behind it, right?
Right. That's what makes it a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, is that
it's because there's plenty of information saying, no, this is facts. This happened, and here are the reasons and the proof and the receipts.
Right. Because I could be wrong. I'm gonna have to do my own like little research, and as always, you know, I always try to put, like, when we talk about stuff, I try to like double check our facts.
Right.
So even if we do say something that's not correct,
it's just misguided.
It's our own brains like thinking of this, and I do always fact check us, and I put the correct information up on there so you guys can read it to, like, the little things that pop up.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look in more into that because I feel like I saw something not too long ago contradicting what the astronaut is saying. Like, people from NASA is saying that they did actually land on the moon, and then the astronaut saying that they didn't. So like, what the heck? Does that astronaut still work for NASA?
My parents are gonna tell everybody that I was a great kid, but like, I knew I was a little piece of shit.
Well, we all were.
So you know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah,
that's how I feel like that situation is at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get it, but it's that's a hard one for me.
I hear you.
It's a hard one for me because it's like, why now?
Why not?
Why not now, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the Bermuda Triangle's still out there churning away people's dreams.
But
and
it's
compasses.
not like they're saying it's not like all of a sudden they're saying, oh, by the way, the Bermuda Triangle doesn't exist now.
Or there's more Bermuda Triangle conspiracy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, there's not like a lot of back and forth with it.
Well, I think conspiracy theories like ebb and flow with time, because like as this goes into COVID has a ton of conspiracy theories.
Yes,
like
that is very true.
5G.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
so where's the science behind that one? And then there's articles that are just like,
yeah.
You're like, this is insane. Why? Why is this reality? Why is this even possible?
Right.
For people to be like, well, here's the justification behind it.
It's wild, dude.
Yeah.
Like, literally blows my mind. It makes me wonder, like, whoever's
stirring up the cosmic ether up
managing
there.
the Earth simulation. I always refer to like my life as like Sim City. I feel like the world is sometimes like Sim City.
I never played Sims.
What?
Sorry.
Oh my God,
I
Jessica.
know. What
kind of 90s person are you?
I'm
gonna have to talk with your
person
mother.
that existed in the 90s. I had strict parents.
I'm gonna have to talk with
it
your
was
mom.
like the
Just
video
kidding.
games.
I love you, Jessica's mom.
Right. The movies, the TV shows were all kind
that's
of
fair.
like limited. And I mean, I'm not saying they were strict in a bad way. They were doing their best to raise me in the 90s, clearly, where Beetlejuice exists.
No, I had strict parents too, but they were just strict in different ways.
Right.
But sometimes I feel like we are in Sims. So, it's interesting to me, like, when stuff like this is going on, or like COVID and stuff like that happens, because I'm like, man, the fucking like bird's eye view of the world right now to whoever's controlling this madness has just got to be chaos, and they've got to be getting a fucking kick out of it, is what I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, I'm gonna start this over here, and we're gonna throw that little bomb over there, and we'll sprinkle some of this
It makes me
over there,
it really
and we'll just watch
gives
everything.
me humor to think of like Greek mythology and like Zeus and all the other gods up there just like messing with humankind as they will. Like, that's kind of how it feels. It's like we've got just forces at work that we don't quite see or understand, and they're just doing whatever.
I know, like, intuitively that there's like energy forces within our world that I feel kind of lead everybody into whatever the fuck is going on.
Right. The fates.
Obviously. Yeah.
Right.
But like, I don't know, man. It all do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I believe.
And like the UFOs?
I don't.
Have you ever seen?
I don't think we're alone.
I don't think we're alone either.
Would we call them aliens? Sure, that's the word we use.
That's the word that society has
So here's the thing.
chosen.
Do you think they're up or do you think they're down? Do you think the aliens are in outer space or do you think they're like in the oceans?
Ooh, that's a hard one because I've heard conspiracies about both. Yeah. Of both.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen any weird objects in the sky before? Like, have you seen something and you're like, what is that?
Yeah, but it was SpaceX, I think, that like weird flying dots in the sky.
Yeah.
That was quickly justified away. But I haven't seen anything that would like hover and then dart off or any projections like that. No, I haven't.
Really? So my dad and I had an experience one time in Arizona. I was probably like 12. And in the neighborhood that I grew up in, there was just desert all around us.
Right.
Like before, we were like right on like the
end of the
end of like Phoenix to Scottsdale borderline. Now it's all like where that desert was is all businesses.
It's connected. Yeah.
It's all one. But it was that night. I don't remember where we were coming back from, but I remember we were driving and I was like, Dad, what is that? And I like pointed at the sky and it looked like a triangle. And underneath, like, okay, so imagine like a triangle shape, like you're looking in the sky, right? And as I'm looking up, like I see like 4 lights underneath it. Like,
whoa.
Not like blinking lights, like not airplane type lights, like they were round lights, like beams of light, not like beams shooting all the way down, but if you look up and you saw a triangle and imagined 4 circular lights like glowing underneath it, that's what it looked like.
It's crazy.
And he's like, what is that? And we literally pulled over. And as soon as we pulled over and we got out of the car and looked at it, we saw it for like 3 seconds and then it just went like it vanished. Like it didn't like it just like
blinked out.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And we never saw anything like that again. We tried to tell my mom about it and she didn't believe us. She thought we were fucking with her. Because we always would. We always have like these like prank stories and stuff, and she thought we were messing with her, but that time we were not.
No, seriously, Mom.
Another time in New York, my friend Amy and I would go out to the beach all the time, and we'd just sit out there. And obviously, the planes would come in. So on Long Island, on the South Shore, you're looking, into the Atlantic Ocean. Obviously, there's a lot of planes coming in because LaGuardia and JFK are really close to the water right there for landing.
Mm-hmm.
And one night we were sitting out there, and it was like sunset time, and we could see all the planes coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what was weird is we noticed these other two types of like lights, like two different sets of lights that were also like coming in, like the same like pathway kind of.
Yeah.
But they didn't have like the blinking airplane lights that are like on the sides.
Right.
That you can usually pinpoint and like, oh, it's a fucking airplane,
Right.
And we're watching them, and it was weird because they kept like changing levels. Like the level they were like, and they were far away.
Right.
Like far enough that we could see, but not like close enough that we're like, oh my God,
You're like, what the fuck is that?
Like they were far enough away that we could tell it was not an airplane.
Right.
Close enough, like whatever, that it was not an airplane. And the way that they were just changing levels so frequently was really strange. And then they would like stay in like one spot for a very long time and then like drop down like really quick and then go really high and then drop down. And then they just like disappeared.
That's
and then
nuts.
And then they showed back up like in a different area, like down like the beach line, doing the same thing. And that was strange. That's the only 2 times I've seen anything really
extraterrestrial
that I was like, all right, maybe. But I've seen like other people's posts about weird things, and I'm like, it's possible.
I think it's very narrow-minded to believe that we are the only ones on the, like, we are one tiny rock in an entire
galaxy,
an amount of space that I can't even comprehend.
Right.
We are just one speck of it. So it's crazy to think that we are the only sentient, intelligent,
right,
we'll call it what you will, some form of life. Like,
exactly. And they say, like that there's no life on other planets, that they can tell that. They can tell that there's no life on other planets because the other planets are made of gases and stuff like that they say, right?
Right. But what's your definition of life? Just
exactly.
Because we exist,
because we can't survive.
Exist on gases. Like,
if just because we can't survive without oxygen.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like super narrow-minded.
Exactly. Who's to say that
something else doesn't,
some other alien or whatever,
argon? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. I definitely don't think that we are the only human life form of something. There's got to be something out there that's far more advanced than us. Like,
well, I mean, I look at our planet in itself and all of the species and all of the life forms that are on it,
right?
And how different they are, and how alien some of those are to us. Like,
they find new species of animals all the time. And they're
how do we know those aren't aliens?
Alien animals?
Well, if they're new to us, how do we know?
Right. I mean, we don't. Like, where did it come from? What if the aliens planted it here?
What if that is an alien?
We don't know.
We don't.
No one knows.
That's too much.
That's too much. This is too much for my brain right now. I can't wrap my head around all of it.
It's absolutely wonderful.
What about what's the one in the desert in Nevada?
Area 51.
Yeah. I've watched a lot of documentaries on that one. That's an interesting one.
That is a strange space of
I would like
US
to go
soil,
to that space. I've also seen
Why?
Because I want to just
go messing with government sanctioned areas. What are you hoping to find? Trash against defense?
Well, that's
or a little green guy.
A little green guy preferred would be great. Maybe orange.
Orange,
whatever color.
He could be whatever color. I'm not going to judge.
He could be rainbow color for all I care.
That'd be fine.
I'd
be open.
I am just like one of those people that's like, oh, people are saying this isn't true. I want to go experience it because I want to gather like my own knowledge based off my own experience of it.
Right.
And I like to test that type of stuff. I don't know why. Like, same with like the ghost stuff.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, it's a haunted hotel. I'm like, yes, let's go stay the night there and try to find some ghosts. Like, I want to experience those things because I think because they are so, talked about or like not believed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that for me, it's more like a validation thing.
Yeah. That's
In a sense, like I want to experience it so I know for myself whether I think it's true or not.
Right.
So I can gain my own perspective or opinion on it based off my own experience versus just my own research.
Fair.
You know what I mean? Because I can research these things
Yeah.
all day long.
Well, I mean, you can get confirmation bias for any idea you
Yeah.
have.
But I can also find 4 other theories about the freaking Bermuda Triangle while I'm trying to create my own opinion about it. Or whatever, you know, conspiracy theory that we're talking about.
Right. That's fair.
You know?
Yeah.
What about the Denver airport one?
That's one of my favorite ones. DIA is a hub for the Illuminati. So much so that Denver airport plays into it.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. It's great.
They have like jokes about it
On the
all
walls.
the walls and
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that they do have a whole underground system.
Mm-hmm. And they just built a whole new tunnel under there.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone that works there, and they have confirmed the underground system,
Mm-hmm.
but they say that it is strictly for employees to just get around the freaking airport faster,
Which has
and
got to be so much easier. Yeah.
stuff like that. But
yeah.
I want to go see it.
Yeah, I don't doubt that it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And that there isn't like maybe some secret tunnels off in other directions that have fancy rooms inside of them.
Yeah. Do you think
for
that
no
there's like
reason,
weird like hiding bunkers in there if there was like an apocalypse that like government officials would go hide in?
I mean, you want to give safe spaces to a lot of important people, and since DIA is nowhere near the mountain range, you know, it's probably a little safer
in
there
the Eastern Plains
than it is. So, I mean, great. Good for them.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, it doesn't excite me at all. I'm like, well, cool. Important people get to go hide out at the airport.
Right.
I hate the airport.
Yeah, but those people are okay. Apocalypse comes. They're hiding out at the airport. At least if they needed to get out, they're on an airstrip already.
Yeah, that's why they put the important people in the convenient places. Right. I hear that.
Well, what about us not so important people that society doesn't think of, such as me and you?
Well,
What do we do in the apocalypse? Where do we go?
wherever we want to.
Where do we go?
We don't have to go to an airstrip.
True. That's fun. Where do we go though? What would you do if the apocalypse happened?
That's always such a huge topic.
I know. We're running out of time already.
Right? I mean, it's like, who would you grab? What would you grab? It's almost like the hurricane tote. Like,
Yeah.
what do you put in that?
I mean, obviously, apocalypse would be like more survival
I
stuff.
would try and get as far away from populace as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I would not head towards city centers.
No.
No. I would go away from city centers.
Yeah.
The further away from population I can get, probably the longer we'll survive.
Right.
Because we have to divine our own resources out there. But I mean,
like being around other people when
I've
shit's
seen
hitting the
too many
fan.
like Walking Dead shows and apocalypse shows to
To
show
know.
me that humanity sucks just as much as the monster does.
Yes.
So like,
What's the movie? What's the movie where the people? I'm having like a memory of one scene specifically where something's in the world eating everybody, and this like group of strangers ends up in this house together, and they have to like go to the store, but like they can't let whatever is out there getting them see them. What is it? Do you know what I'm talking about? And they're like, they have to drive the car to the store to try to go get supplies, right? And so they're in the car, but they have like stuff all on the windows, and they're trying to use like the map on like their phone to try to navigate so they're not hitting.
Man.
I'm going to figure out what movie that is because it is like an apocalyptic type movie.
Like as you're describing it, the first movie I think of is The Mist, but I don't think
It's
that's
not
it.
The Mist. No, it's an apocalyptic movie. There's something out in the world that's like attacking these people, and like if they look at it or whatever it is, they like get affected and start like a zombie. Like they eat other people. I've
seen that movie. We'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm like, what is that movie now? Damn it,
I want to know.
But that is like that's what I think of when I think of like apocalypse. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like everything, people are going crazy. Like, I don't know, the world's ending. People are going crazy. You just don't know what's going to happen.
No.
Like,
Well, but and the thing is that you have to be able to adapt to whatever happens.
right. But like, if the world ended, like, do you think that it's going to be like a zombie type thing? Do you think it's going to be like some catastrophic weather event that's just going to blow up the whole world? Or like, what do you...
That's hard. I mean, because I don't think it'll be just like one thing. I think there'll be a catalyst. I'm sure something will pop.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it'll start to shut down.
It'll just kind of like trickle.
In series afterwards. You know what I'm saying?
You think like something's going to happen?
Like if something hits our food supply and then the price of food goes up and then we start getting hungry and then things start changing and then it's like, you know, I don't think it's going to be just like this fast instant, oh God, now there's a crater where Mississippi used to be.
Right.
Because like that doesn't shut down the world. That just
Right.
shuts down Mississippi and surrounding areas. Like it has to be huge.
No, I know. That's
Huge.
what I'm saying. Like, I mean, they've said numerous times for many years that there's asteroids that are going to come take Earth out and all this shit, you know, and like they've made movies about that.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I feel like in a sense, if something like that was going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and if it was to happen in our lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
it would be something that nobody would be able to predict or prepare for.
I think you can really only be so prepared for really any emergency,
Well, yeah,
right?
obviously. But I think that it would be that it would just happen so quickly that people would be like, what? Like that it would just happen and it would either wipe out us like all right away.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a few
You have
freaking
like a
standing
first wave.
Yeah. And then it's like survival of the fittest after that. Or I think that like, what if it's happening now slowly?
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
You know?
I mean,
Like, if
and then we end up in like a Hunger Games situation,
right,
where we're
like
all
what
segregated
if
into
COVID
districts and
was like
forced
the
into
first
labor
little
camps and
like
stuff.
test of let's see how these people react to.
Yeah. I mean, COVID shut down the world. That was like the closest thing I could ever think of.
Yeah, but COVID. Do you think COVID came from China, like they say?
I don't know, man.
I do.
I don't know who made COVID, but
I don't know who made COVID.
that was messed up.
That was messed up.
That's a
Shame on you.
funny form of the flu you had to overinflate.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I don't know, man.
I don't either.
It's a crazy world out there.
It's a fun one, that's for sure.
I guess. We are at our time already. That
We
went by
are.
fast.
Conspiracy theories are pretty easy to talk about.
They are. I could ramble on about them because they are very interesting to me.
Yeah.
I am going to share all the things we talked about with you guys. I'll share the facts for you guys. Do you have any closing statements you'd like to say today?
No, just a little shout out to Erin at Yukon Axe. Thank you again for all of the great times you were able to provide for us.
Yes.
Yukon Axe Westminster, to be specific, they have a couple locations.
Yes.
Try them all out. Great facility. Yeah, those are my closing statements, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Glad I got that out of the way. I don't know how else to ask that.
No,
I just feel like
understand.
that's appropriate.
No, it's a great opener.
It's funny.
You're hilarious.
We will put all the links in the description for you guys. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you next week.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Girl, did you hear?
Nah, girl, what?